All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION this hour. The leaders from 57 nations gathered in the Saudi capital to attend the Arab Islamic Summit. Leaders denounced Israel's attacks in the Gaza Strip and in Lebanon, warning that Israeli actions could actually lead to the freezing of its United Nations membership. Defying global calls for a ceasefire, the state of Israel has been bombing Beirut in a fresh wave of attacks. The Lebanese media has said that Israel launched at least about 10 air bombings on South Beirut on Tuesday morning, shortly after the Israeli army urged the residents of several neighborhoods in Beirut to flee from their homes, describing that area to be a bastion of Hezbollah. In northern Lebanon, the Israeli bombings have killed at least about 14 Lebanese people. Now, Israel's bombs hit a building where about 30 people were residing, including Syrian refugees. The Lebanese mayor has said that many people are still trapped underneath the rubble. Now, Israel is insistent that it is fighting Hezbollah and Hamas. Now, Israel's new foreign minister, Katz, has said that there will be no ceasefire in Lebanon. The Katz warned that the Israeli forces will hit the Hezbollah's targets without any breaks whatsoever.
There will be no ceasefire and there will be no break in the strikes against Hezbollah. However, if the possibility arises and a proposal is put forward that would allow us to claim victory, meaning the surrender of Hezbollah, if Hezbollah would accept all our conditions that we coordinate with the United States and they would be able to materialize, we will certainly consider it very seriously.
Earlier, Israeli forces said that Hezbollah launched about 200 missiles from Lebanon towards northern Israel. Now, the barrage, in fact, triggered sirens in the city of Haifa and led to significant fires and damages in the suburb of Kiryat Arta. Now, in the Gaza Strip, about 4 Israeli soldiers reportedly were killed in the northern part of the enclave, taking the total number of the Israeli casualties since October last year to 376. The Arab League Secretary General said that the majority of the United Nations member states stand firmly behind a two-state solution. Now, Ahmed Aboul Gheit further warned that many states will back its stance in freezing Israel's United Nations membership.
I trust that a lot of states will support freezing the membership, and this freezing is not under the UN Security Council's vision, meaning the UNSC is the only party concerned with expelling and joining members. But we are not speaking about expelling or joining. We are talking about freezing. Accordingly, we might witness soon the freezing of the membership through a UNGA majority vote. Accordingly, it's a step that puts things in the right place.
Now, speaking of the summit, Iran's Vice President Mohammad Reza Arif said that the world is in fact awaiting Donald Trump's government to stop the war in the Gaza Strip and Lebanon. Listen in.
The American government is the main supporter of the actions of the Zionist regime, and the world is waiting for the promise of the new government of this country to immediately stop the war against the innocent people of Gaza and Lebanon.
Now, the Arab summit host, Saudi Arabia, condemned the massacres that are being committed on the Palestinian and the Lebanese people by the Israeli army backed by the Americans. All 57 nations released a final statement saying that lasting peace cannot be achieved in the region if Israel does not withdraw from the occupied Palestinian territories. These regions include the West Bank and also East Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip and the Golan Heights, which Israel has annexed. The WION's correspondent from the State of Israel, Jody Cohn, has sent us this report from Ra'anana. Listen in.
The Arab summit called for a ceasefire in the Middle East. This came as Israel's new Foreign Minister Gideon Saar suggested that progress has been made in a ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon. Israel wants a written guarantee that it could take military action against Hezbollah if it attempts to re-establish a military presence on Israel's border. And Israel's Defense Minister Katz suggested this is crucial. Ron Dermer, who reportedly wrote Israel's proposal, has met with President Trump, Secretary of State Blinken and others. President Herzog is meeting with President Biden and senior Republican figures. This comes following a second attack in Amsterdam in which Israelis were told to stay in their hotel rooms for their safety, and ahead of the Biden administration's Wednesday deadline for Israel to improve aid into Gaza or risk its military aid. Israel suggested it has increased aid entering Gaza, but that Hamas steals much of it and is another reason why the terror group needs to be defeated. This is Jodie Cohen for WION World as One.